Yeah, I'm afraid she's gone off to the nearest sofa, but she's here with us in spirit. It's great to be with you this afternoon, and even to do that virtually is a huge honour. I do think opportunities like this to celebrate the best and imagine the possible are really, really precious. And to think you've been doing it for 10 years is a wonderful thing. Now, in a minute or two, I'll tell you about the Fiona Littledale Award and the remarkable woman who inspired it. Before that, though, I just want to share a couple of insights on patient experience, not from in the bed, nor over it, but beside it. For almost 10 years, I accompanied Fiona as best friend, husband, and carer through the experience of oncology treatment. And these little insights that I share are no more than glimpses gained from that time. And I think you'll realise that some of them are rather more serious than others. Here's the first one. If they give you tea, it's bad. If they give you tea and biscuits, it's really bad. I remember us noticing that quite early on in the journey. If the tea and then the biscuits came out, then we knew it was serious. Here's another one. That professionalism and warmth are companions, not opposites. You can be perfectly professional and perfectly warm at the same time. And that was something that we encountered, especially in the chemotherapy unit. People who were utter professionals, totally competent in what they were doing, and gave you that impression, but at the same time approached the task with the most tremendous warmth, which was helpful both for patient and for carer. Here's another one, again from the carer's perspective, that being in the way of the staff is all about attitude and not about location. I've probably lost count of the number of times people had to move drips around me or ask me to move from one side of the bed to the other. But being in the way was about the attitude, whether you were prepared just to step aside or prepared to step out of the room. It was not really about where you were sitting or standing. Here's another one. That creative ways of saying thank you are palliative care for the heart. When all this was going on, my heart, frankly, was a little bit broken, and you couldn't do anything to fix that. But what you could do, you couldn't do anything to fix that. What you could do was to allow me once in a while to say thank you to you, was to allow me to stop and thank you for what you were doing. And I know you get that all the time, and sometimes it's probably more irritating than helpful. But actually allowing me to do that was a real help to me. Moving on a little bit further, I think I'd want to say that sorrow could be a stimulant, not a suppressant. Maybe I'll explain that a little bit. We should have a slide here, I think. Back in 2017, I started writing these blog posts. So this was the 69th birthday of the NHS. And I posted this blog post called 69 Reasons to be Thankful. And every year since, I've added to it, and the list is now up to 71. I think the version with 70 on it has been framed and put up on the wall of the staff room in my local GP's surgery. You see, the sorrow that I was feeling was a stimulant to do something good rather than a suppressant. Then in 2018, I got busy in the kitchen, and I think we've got another slide there. And I baked these 70th birthday cakes, and I took one to the staff room of the local hospital and one again to the staff room of the local GP surgery. And by all accounts, they went down very well indeed. And then last year, I published a book called Postcards from the Land of Grief, which charted my journey through particularly the first year of being a widower. And after a process of many weeks of negotiation with my publisher, I was able then to make a version of this available as a free PDF for all NHS staff who wanted it. One of my concerns during the pandemic was that people would be dealing with multiple bereavements, multiple loss amongst both staff and patients. And I just wanted to place something in their hands that could be of help to them in that situation. And that's been great to be able to do that. Here's another insight. And some of you, Kath, I know is one, will be very much aware of this, that we all need the NHS more than we know and value it less than we should. And that's something I'm happy to say until I'm blue in the face, because people need to hear it. Here's another one, just two more now. That 1.4 million can be represented by one, for good or ill. There are 1.4 million employees in the NHS, but for the patient or for the carer, that all comes down to the one who is dealing with you in that moment. And here's the last one. That discouragement is a pandemic, but we all have the cure for it. And you're busy sharing that cure today, just as you have been for the past 10 years. So a little bit about the award then. My wife, Fiona Littledale, after whom this award is named, spent all her life working as an information manager. The last 10 years were as the faculty liaison librarian to the Medical School of St George's. She loved her job and often got a real boost when she later found herself under the care of one of her students whilst undergoing treatment. She loved her job so much that she kept going all through 24 rounds of chemo whenever her strength would allow. It's a measure of how much she loved it. One of the hardest days during the last year of her life was the one in which she had to leave because she was just too ill to continue. For Fiona, the jewel in that job, which she loved so much, was to invest time in those who were already working, but who wanted to improve their skill set and deliver still better care to their patients. She would go out of her way, often at great cost to herself, to help them pursue those studies by accessing relevant, up-to-date, peer-reviewed information. To see one of them fly, equipped and motivated to do so, gave a lift in a life which was increasingly weighed down by cancer. When you lose the person you love, there are many ways to remember them, and I've run the gamut of most of them. Now, my family and I were under strict instructions that we were not to commemorate Fiona with a bench, since she said in her own words, "I don't want people sitting on me," which was fair enough. Taking that to heart, we decided to remember Fiona with an ongoing legacy, which would encourage the pursuit of excellence which she held so dear. Each year, the Fiona Littledale Award will recognise outstanding excellence in oncology nursing in a way which she would have loved. Before the word is announced, a quick word about the sunflower, which forms the logo of the award and will be worn on a badge by the winners. Sunflowers are tall, proud, beautiful, and they make your heart sing. They're adaptable too, following the sun wherever it may be. At her memorial service, Fiona chose a poem by Evangeline Patterson with this line in it: "To stand like the sunflower, turned full face to the sun." And I hope that the winner, and actually all of you, will stand tall today. Thank you, Ruth.